praise.
Hallelujah.
He's worthy.
So worthy.
Are you guys ready? Yeah. That's all I have to ask. Are you ready? Yeah. Are you ready for God to move in your life? Yeah. Are you ready for God to show up on your behalf? Yeah. All right. You guys may be seated. So first, I just want to give honor to God. To God, who is my Lord, my ruler, my master, my healer, my provider, my deliverer, my way maker, my lily of the valley, my lover of my soul, the lover of my soul. And I also want to give honor to our spiritual parents,
Amen.
Pastor Wes and Prophetess Shantae Warren. I count it a privilege and an honor to be connected to you. To be connected to you. I don't take it lightly. I want to honor my mother, and I also want to honor everybody here who came out on today. Give yourselves a round of applause. So, honestly, I don't even know where to start because I'm just amazed by God. Because he's literally been doing some amazing things. He's been literally blowing my mind. And from November to the month of February, it was really dark out here for Jen. I was like, wow, my God, where are you? And God began to minister to me in the month of March. And I remember I got a prophetic word before March. And my best friend, she told me, she said, March is, you expect God, it's gonna get better. So I was waiting, I'm like, yes, March, where is March? Where is March 1st? And so March came, and that's when we went on a fast. I don't know if you guys remember, we went on a fast in March. And so I began to seek the Father and during the fast, and he began to just repeatedly speak the word value to me. Literally, value. And so I was like, okay, God, what are you saying? What are you saying about value? I said, what's a story? I like stories in the Bible. What's a story in the Bible that relates to value? And he began to tell me to look in Joseph. So I'm like, I done heard this story 1,000 and billion times. I used to watch the Joseph King of Dreams movie when I was younger all the time. So I'm like, I know this story like the back of my hand. But he said, read it again. So this story is very long, like very long. Like it's literally like, I counted today, it's like over 10 chapters in Genesis. And so God began to tell me that value, when you know your value, you pick things correctly. You pick your friends, you pick your mates, you pick your places to be, you pick situations to be, even to be a part of. You pick your career path differently, your job, your career, everything is different when you know value. And so because the value that you see within yourself and your value of your relationships, your value of your relationship with God, you act completely differently. So in this season, we literally have to see ourselves through the eyes of God. Because if we don't, we will miss what God has for us. We will think we aren't worthy of what he's doing or what he wants to do in our lives. We will miss open doors because we think we aren't good enough. Or we won't take risk. One who knows their value, they are more likely to take risk. They are less likely to procrastinate. When you know value.
That's good.
And let me tell you something. That your mistakes, your failures, your background, your past, it only adds value to you.
Come on now.
It does not subtract. It adds value to you.
Wow.
And so the word value means the regard that something is held to deserve, the importance of worth, or usefulness of something. And so between March and all the way up to last Sunday, I have literally got almost every prophetic word I have gotten has been about value.
Wow.
Literally every word I've gotten about worthy, that you're worthy, you're valuable, you're loved, you're this, you're that. And so I'm like, God, what are you saying? What are you saying, God? And so he broke it down in Joseph. So the word, Joseph's name, I don't know if you guys know the story, but I'm going to try to make it as plain because it's a very detailed story. It's literally 10 chapters, okay? So I'm going to break it down for you. The word Joseph, his name means, may God give us increase.
Come on now.
Okay?
Wow.
May God give us increase. And so he was born to Jacob and Rebekah. Now, mind you, Rebekah, his mother, that was her first son. And she was literally begging God for a child. She was begging God for a child. And she named him Joseph. May God give us increase. May God give us another, because she was in expectation for God to give her another son. She said, that's not going to be my only son. So Joseph was also favored, highly favored by his father, Jacob. I mean, highly favored. He got him a coat of many colors. A coat. And he favored him because he was born in his old age. So he was literally favored by God. So Joseph was a dreamer, the Bible declares, and he had some dreams. And so I done heard this message preached before, and people were saying, he should have told them they dream. He should have told his brothers they dream. I said, no. Joseph was right by telling them his dreams because he understood his dreams had value. The first dream he had, he said, it was the first dream, and all of these hays, like, because they was in the field, they worked in the field. So all these hays were around his, and his brothers were holding the hays. And all of his brothers, he had 10 brothers at the time. He was the 11th child.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And they all bowed down to him in the dream. So imagine if your brother or your sister come to you saying, yeah, I just had this dream, like, y'all all about to bow down to me. I mean, so it started some sibling rivalry. They already was jealous because his father was favoring him. So it added more. The Bible declares that they could not speak another kind word to him.
Wow.
He said, not a kind word came out of their mouth. So imagine you had this dream, and God gave you this dream, and you said, hold up, something is different about this dream. I got to see some value in this. And then all of a sudden, all you hear is negativity coming at you left and right, left and right. The people around you don't even like you. Their hatred for them grew. But guess what? God gave him another dream.
Come on.
Another dream. And it was the same dream, the same meaning of the dream, but it was in a different way because God wanted to confirm and literally protect what was inside of him from the negativity. And so the second dream was, he said, I had a dream that the sun, the moon, and the 11 stars bowed down to me. So the sun, God was telling him, the sun and the moon represented his father, his mother. He said everybody is bowing down to him.
Jesus.
Okay? So first of all, that's some courage to even say. Like, honestly, that is to be like, wow, like, this is what's going to happen. Or this is what God has given me. And I don't know how this is going to happen because guess what? He was the youngest. He was not supposed to inherit nothing, really. It was supposed to be the first child. So God began to give him these dreams, and he knew that they were divine because they were literally mind-blowing. And he knew that it was something special. It was something different. And he understood the value that God had placed on the inside of him. So this is, in retrospect, this is literally God giving Joseph his calling. He gave him his calling right there in a dream. And people don't understand. People are not going to understand the call on your life.
My
They're
God.
not. Even your own family, they're not going to understand. So Joseph began when you recognize the value, the mandate that God has placed on the inside of you, the enemy will come with rejection.
Yes. That's good.
He will. He does not want you to feel accepted. And his brothers begin to, like I said, they could not say another kind word to him. So just imagine being around somebody and they can never say, hey, how you doing? How's your day going? I love you. You're nice. You're this. You're that. All it was negativity. They didn't even want him around them. So then Joseph, his father, has sent his other brothers out to go to the field and do some work. And they were taking a really, really long time, I guess, because he said, okay, I want you to go out and I want you to go find your brothers. And so he went out and, well, first, let me tell you what he said. When he said, go, his father told him to go get ready. And he said, I'm ready.
Okay.
He told him, he said, I'm ready.
Stay ready.
Come on.
Gotta get ready.
Hey, Pastor, I'm telling y'all, literally when everybody who ministered from the month of March all the way up until last week, I was just like, my God, there is literally one spirit, because everybody had a piece of what God was dealing with me about. We were all literally talking about the same thing. We all been talking about walking in our kingdom authority, knowing what God has placed on the inside of us. So God is speaking. So are y'all listening? I just want to know.
Amen.
So he went out. He said, I'm ready to go. And so he went out, and his brothers saw him from afar. And they started scheming up a plan. They said, okay, look, we gonna kill him. We about to just kill him. Like, that's it. We gonna kill him. So, we got some nice brothers on the team. He said, no, let's not kill him. Because Dad, we couldn't bear with that, what Dad would do. So let's just pretend that we kill him, but we sell him into slavery. We're gonna sell him. We're gonna put him into a ditch. So they put him into a ditch. They put him, actually, the Bible says, into an empty cistern. And a cistern is a place that is for water, but it was dry. And they put him there into a dry, lonely place. And they not only did they put him into this pit, they ripped off his coat of many colors. And they ripped off the love, the acceptance that God had given him to his father. But let me tell you something. When people try to rip away that love and that acceptance that God has placed on the inside of you, it elevates you because you are valuable.
Yeah.
So it was almost like them ripping that coat away. It was almost like mockery too. It was, because his father had given that to him. And they ripped it away and then said, hey, Dad, we found his coat, and I think it was some animal had ate him. They made up this whole story about literally a whole lie. Okay, and they sold him for 10 pieces of silver to the Egyptians. So now Joseph is going to Egypt. He ain't never been to Egypt. He been with his family. He been cooling with his family.
Jesus.
And now he's going to Egypt, to a place he ain't never been before, to not one soul he's ever met. But remember, it's not what it looks like. It's not what it looks like. God has a purpose for your life. So he was going through it. Because imagine your family just reject you.
Wow.
They rejected you. They lied on you. They betrayed you. And now you're going to an unfamiliar land. So God began to tell me that the same thing that tried to keep you in bondage is the same thing God will use to elevate you. He will literally use that. Those people literally pushed him to his destiny. But they didn't know that. They didn't know that. Joseph didn't know that.
Wow. That's good.
My God.
So somebody look at your neighbor and say, I bring value.
I bring value.
I bring value.
I bring value.
I done been through all this hell, but I bring value. I done been through all this hell, chaos, confusion, trust broken, lies told, but I'm valuable.
Yes.
I'm valuable. And
Yes.
I don't care what anybody has to say.
Yeah.
It doesn't change what God has placed on the inside of me.
No.
Yeah.
It only makes me want to go harder.
Yeah.
Because I understand that the devil doesn't want me to birth and stop. He doesn't want me to stop.
Jesus.
So, I'm trying to be like Joseph. And God was making it real plain to me. He told me, you were Joseph. You are Joseph.
Right.
And so I said, okay. Because I've been rejected by my own family. Lied on by my own family. Betrayed by my own family, some of them. And I just didn't understand. I couldn't fathom in my mind, why was this happening to me? But I knew it was for a greater purpose.
Yes.
I knew it was for a greater purpose. So Joseph, when he got to Egypt, he literally got into Potiphar's house. And Potiphar was like a person that was underneath Pharaoh. And so he was like, he was royal. He was royal. And so Joseph understood servitude because he served with his father. And so he understood that where he wanted to go, he had to serve. And so we have to be like that. I'll mop because I value what God wants to do in my life. I'll sleep on the floor because I value my relationship with God. I'll be lied on because I understand it's about the value on the inside of me. I'll wait because I value. I'll be in a season of separation because I value. It's bigger than this. It's bigger than you. And that's what God kept telling me. It's bigger than you. What's on the inside of you has the power to change the world. It can impact the future of those right around you.
Yes.
And so, Joseph, I just love Joseph because the favor of God was literally upon him. They literally thought they were selling him off. They thought, oh, he's going to be doomed. He's out of our hair. We're good. But Joseph was literally serving. And so Potiphar saw him serving. And he's like, man, you know what? I got to, you about to be right underneath me. You're going to be right underneath me. And you're going to literally handle all of my business. I want you up close and personal. And so guess what? Joseph had an administrative anointing. And so I was like, thank you, Lord. He had an administrative anointing. And let me tell you, as Joseph went from I love my school. I got to give shout out to Spring Arbor. Okay? Because we're required to take Old Testament and New Testament classes, and I had the Old Testament class literally, like, I was just like, wow, like in the class, and they gave us this book, and I still have it. That's the only book I bought. I didn't buy the other books. I just, I rented them. But I bought this one. It was like $50, so I bought it. I said, this book is good. And so in the book, it tells you that Joseph literally went to 4 houses. And it broke it down. And it said Joseph went to 4 houses. So first he was at his father's house, and now he's at Potiphar's house, okay? So he's going to end up going to 4 houses. So in every house, he elevated to a new dimension in himself. So he began to, he began to serve right underneath Potiphar. And Potiphar was like, my God, like, I just want you over all my stuff. Like, I want you to keep all my stuff, take care of all my stuff. You doing it. So Joseph was like, good. So guess what? Here comes the enemy. And so here comes Potiphar's wife coming to seduce this man. So she all like, oh, come on, sleep with me. And he like, no, I can't sleep with you. Come on. So the Bible says that she was looking. She was analyzing him. She was spotting him out. She was looking at, when is he at his weak moments? I want to get him. But he told her, he said, I value my relationship with God, and I value my relationship with Potiphar. So I can't do that. That's what he said. So she was like, oh no, she didn't take that rejection well. Let me tell y'all. She said, oh no, oh no. So she tried again to sleep with him. But this time, he was running away from her, and she was holding on to his cloak, to his garment, and she snapped. He like came out of it so he could get away from her, and then she took it and started screaming and literally made up this lie and said that he was trying to rape her. So now, then she put on a little show for her husband when he came home, like, oh baby, he tried to sleep with me. You need to throw him in prison. Oh my God! And guess what? Now he in prison.
Yes.
That's good.
So he was doing right, and now he in prison. My God. I guess Jesus just wanted him alone, in the prison. So, thank you. It is a process. Because I guess maybe he thought he was about to rise up and be everybody bowing down to him without a process. But he got his process, let me tell you.
Come on.
So, he literally was in prison, y'all. And in prison, he got favor because the prisoner guard was like, oh yeah, we just want you to run everything in here. Like, we just want you to run everything in here. So he like, okay, great, I would do that. So he's serving. He's serving. He is literally chief in prison. How? He's a prisoner. That doesn't even make any sense, y'all. That doesn't even make any sense.
Come on.
He was in there. So I'm sorry. Joseph was 17 when he got sold to slavery and stuff. He was 17. He was a young boy. He was a young child. Wow. And so this time, he was literally in prison, and then two people came into prison. They were in there with him, some other prisoners, and they had some dreams, okay? And they had some dreams, and they did not understand these dreams. So Joseph like, well, tell me your dream. So he tells them the dream, and he says, well, you're going to die, and then you're going to get sent back into Pharaoh's house, because one of them was a chef for Pharaoh. He said, you're going to get put into Pharaoh's house. You're going to go back in 3 days. So Joseph literally interpreted these dreams, and they came to pass. Wow. And he told the one who was the chef inside of in Pharaoh's house, he told him, he said, remember me, literally remember me, tell Pharaoh about me, tell Pharaoh about me. Because he understood the value of his gift. Yes. We all have gifts and talents on the inside of us, and it is time for us to recognize that we bring value. Yes.